Hello. This is like day 5 or 6 of leading online yoga classes. And this class that we're getting ready to start is a restorative style yoga class. So a little bit non-traditional for those of you who have never taken restorative yoga class before. And we're just going to be moving through some gentle movements. I do teach a more traditional restorative yoga class, which is where we're really holding all the poses and we use all of the props. But this class is intended to be able to do at home, with or without a mat, with or without any props. If you do have like just a couple of pillows that you can put under your knees towards the end of the class, you can begin by sitting on a pillow or even a couple of folded up blankets. That's a great way to get started. And I like to think of this as like a restorative flow class. So we are going to be flowing and moving in the beginning and just kind of gently stretching the body and starting to get the central nervous system calmed and rested and restored. And then towards the end of the class is when we'll actually hold the poses a little bit longer and really come into those more deep and meditative states. So thank you all so much for joining. It's so lovely to see you guys. I might be kind of leaning forward and doing stuff because I have a Zoom class going at the same time as this Facebook Live. So if you see me going towards the screen, I'm just letting people into that Zoom class. If you love Zoom as a platform and want to get invited to that class, let me know. But for now, Facebook Live has been working really great for me. So hopefully it works really great for you. And more of like a movement-based yoga class. I'm teaching spiritual flow classes, which can get challenging. I've actually been pushing myself more than I have in a couple of months because when I'm in my house and you're in your house and I can't see you, I'm able to like push it a little bit further for myself. I'm doing the class with you, so we've been doing a little bit of abs and some like real strong work stuff. So that's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 a.m. Colorado time. Traditional, well not traditional, my style of yoga flow class. And then this one is a restorative class. So grab yourself a spot on the floor, grab a couple pillows, and we're going to get started here in just a moment. Pillows or blankets, just something to prop your knees up. Hi, how's it going? Welcome. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Awesome, awesome. Cool. Well, we're going to go ahead and get started, and we might have more people popping on. I love that with Zoom, I can at least see people and like, oh my gosh, you're outside, there's palm trees. That's amazing. So
Yeah.
let's go ahead and get started. So just grab a comfortable seat on the floor. Close the eyes. And sit up nice and tall. With the eyes closed and sitting nice and tall, I'm going to begin the class with a reading. I pulled a card today before class from the Sacred Rebels deck, just for fun and for inspiration, and it's very relevant to what's happening in my life, but I feel like it's relevant to what's happening in everybody's life. So just close your eyes and take a few deep breaths, and we're going to start to settle in here. Beautiful.
Hey,
The
buddy.
card that I pulled today is the card of new birth. It says guarded vigilantly. Just think about what you are birthing in your life right now. This is a time where everything is new. We're all being guided to approach life in a new way, to give birth to a new way of being. In every creative process, in every birth, in every opening of a new cycle of life, there is a time of vulnerability. This vulnerability is natural and appropriate. It is the foal learning to become steady on its legs. Those legs will become remarkably powerful in time, but the process of growth and maturity has to take place, and that requires some wobbly first attempts. It cannot be any other way. Within you, perhaps even below the level of your conscious awareness, there is a fresh new life emerging like a vibrant green shoot rising up from the earth. This new life is in need of your attention and your care. This could be a new relationship that needs tending with interest and kindness, or it could be a new idea that you need to nurture into fullness, because it is going to hold a special purpose in your life path. It might be something within you, a new behavior, a new way of looking at yourself, or a new way of being in the world that you need to tend to until it becomes more natural for you to embody. So, I just invite you to think about what new is coming through for you during this time. If there's a new behavior, a new way of being, maybe it's just that you're doing yoga, that you're practicing moving your body, finding breath, finding meditation. And I'll invite you to set an intention around what this new piece of yourself that needs to be guarded and nurtured to its fullness, what that might be. So take a moment to set your intention, and once you have, please bring the palms to press together at heart center. We'll begin the practice with 2 cleansing breaths and 1 Om to cleanse and set the space, place, and time. Allow yourself to make a sound, even if you're outside, to just fill the space. So 2 cleansing breaths and 1 Om in through the nose and out through the mouth. This time sigh. This time with the eyes closed, begin to rub heat and a little bit of friction with the hands. Really get the hands nice and hot. And just place them on your heart. Allow the heat of your hands to bring nurturance to any new desires that are forming in your heart during this time of a great pause. Feel that whatever it is that's within you that wants to come forward, that it is safe and protected. And when you're ready, bring the hands over the eyes and feel the heat of the hands. Soften the mind, releasing any doubts, any thoughts that do not serve this purpose of what is wanting to come through you at this time. Just begin to slide the hands down the face, and we're just going to do a couple of passes over the body. Keep the hands from the crown of the head and down the body. You can brush off the shoulder. And just think of this like cleansing and clearing, like when you take a shower and you stand under a waterfall, that feeling of just release. So you can really begin this practice feeling cleansed and clear. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and start today with the feet straight out in front of you. We're just going to do our warm-up for our joints. It's cold in Colorado where I am, so I like to start when it's cold outside with just some circles with the feet and the hands. And reverse the direction. Beautiful. Most of you have done this with me before. Now we're just going to circle the shoulders, a couple of rounds, breathe. Deep inhales and exhales. And reverse direction. And release. So legs can stay straight or even them. And we're going to just do the same thing with the neck. So chin to the chest and just rolling the chin to the ear. Big inhale. And exhale, chin to the chest. And inhale, roll the ear to the shoulder. I said chin to the ear before, that didn't make any sense. Exhale, chin to the chest. Inhale, roll it up. And exhale, roll it down, just releasing the neck. Last one or two. Just make sure you end on the opposite side from where you began. And let's go ahead and find our way into the tabletop position. So, hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Come on a little angle so it's easier to see. We're going to move through a few cat-cow positions. So let's start with cow. Lift the tailbone, lift the gaze. And on an exhale, round it up, press the earth away through cat. Big inhales here. And exhale, round it up. Let's do a couple more. Last one. And exhale, round it up. Come back through center. So from here, we're going to walk the hands forward about 1.5 hand lengths. So from tabletop, just forward just a little bit. And we're going to do some hip circles. So on an exhale, hips towards the heels. And inhale, swing the hips right and forward. And exhale, left and back. Inhale, right and forward. And exhale, left and back. Let's do 2 more big inhales. And exhales. Last one. And reverse direction. Inhale, hips left and forward. Exhale, right and back. And just start to find a gentle flow here. Mind wanders, just come back to your intention. What is within you that wants to be birthed during this time? Maybe it's online classes, maybe it's writing a book, maybe it's just being healthier or more mindful of your time or your sleep. Let's do one more in this direction. Beautiful, and let's find child's pose. So knees are wide, big toes touch. You can sit your hips down onto your heels and then come on down, forehead to the earth. Walk the arms forward. And let's just roll a little bit side to side. If your forehead touches the earth, you can roll it out. Hmm. Couple more deep breaths here. Last one, big inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. And when you're ready, come on up. So let's find our way back to our seat. We're going to do some just gentle flowing movements, stretching through the legs. So bringing the legs nice and wide. And let's start by pointing the toes. So just a little bit of a pointed toe here. Beautiful. We'll switch it up to flexing it in a few minutes. So just start to rock the pelvis here until the belly button is pointing towards the earth. And from here you can just begin to sway side to side. Keep the toes pointed, breathe. And the next time your right shoulder comes towards your right leg, I want you to hook your right hand on the inside of your right leg. So it might be elbow hooks or it might be just the hand here. And when you're ready, inhale, left arm reaches up. Beautiful. So there's a little bit of a squeezing of the shoulder blades and a rotating of the heart up towards the sky. Take a few deep breaths here. One more big inhale. And exhale. And when you're ready, come on up. Tip the pelvis forward, sway side to side. And opposite shoulder comes towards the leg. You're going to hook the hand inside and inhale, opposite arm reaches. Just take a few deep breaths here. I can't hear your breaths from through the internet right now, so I just have to trust that you're breathing deeply. Big inhales. And exhales. Let's do two more. Last one, big inhale. And exhale. Flip that palm over and press it up. So now we're going to flex the feet. So flexed foot is just pointed and flexed. So flex the feet. And again, we're going to bring the pelvis forward and just rock side to side. Keep breathing. And when you're ready, you're going to hook that right hand into the right leg and inhale, left arm reaches. So just like we did before. Maybe it feels different the second go round, just like in the reading from the beginning of class we talked about when a deer first begins to walk and it's quite wobbly and then it becomes stronger and stronger as time goes on. Just know it's the same thing with every yoga pose, right? Big exhale behind the ear. So someday it might actually reach the toes, but try to not round the arm in front of the face. I actually prefer to not touch my toes and just find a nice reach here. Big inhale. And exhale. So we're going to play around with this. Inhale here. Exhale, rolling that left arm forward and hook it inside the right leg and rolling the right arm up. So you might start with the arms straight up overhead just like we did on the first slide, but then really try and get it behind the ear. Feet are still flexed. Deep breaths here. We're going to start to flow. Big inhale. And exhale, rolling down and around. And inhale, reach it up. And exhale, roll it down and around. Inhale, reach it up. And exhale, roll it through. Couple more. You can kind of drag your hands on the earth. Last one. And bring it and slowly walk the hands back towards your body. So let's find our way back to our cross-legged position. If you tend to usually cross one leg in front of the other, we're just going to switch. And then let's the right side of the body behind the back. So you can see it sticking out over there. And then you'll interlace your fingers here. Hug that elbow in and sit up nice and tall. Big inhale. And on the exhale, drop your ear towards the same side that you're hugging the elbow in. So this is going to be a nice big stretch across the front of the shoulder, across the side of the neck. I like to sometimes tuck chin to the chest and reach the chin towards the sky and just rolling through a few times. Let's do a couple more deep breaths here. The deepest, most cleansing breaths that you can possibly take. Last one, big inhale. And exhale, rolling through, chin to the chest, swing the hands around to the other side. So you might switch which pinky's on the outside as you interlace the fingers. And then hug that elbow in, sitting up nice and tall. And when you're ready, drop the ear to the shoulder. And on an exhale, just start to roll, chin to the chest. Inhale, reaching it up. Just follow your breath. Let's do one more. Last one, inhale it. And exhale, rolling down to center and on up. So we're going to stagger the left foot in front and the right foot behind. So I'll tilt my screen a little bit so you can see my feet a little bit better. But that left foot, it's a 90-degree angle in the knee and then also in the foot. And then the right foot comes back behind you, at least straight out from the hips, maybe a little bit further back, and it's that 90-degree angle with the knee and the foot as well. This one's actually called swastikasana, which you can kind of see why. Alright, inhale, reaching up, and exhale, walk the hands on either side of that left foot. Yep. And then you can start to fold and round forehead towards the foot. You'll probably notice one side is significantly tighter than the other side. That's totally normal, totally okay. Maybe after a couple of breaths you're able to kind of soften and bring the elbows to the earth. And just breathe here. Taking the deepest breaths you possibly can. Let's do 5 more deep breaths here. 4. 3. Every inhale, get nice and long. Every exhale, fold. 2 more deep breaths. Last one, big inhale. And exhale. And let's start to come on up. And anyone just joining, you're welcome to jump in at any time. This is just a super gentle, restorative yoga class. So coming to the second side. So again, there's a 90-degree angle in that front knee, 90-degree angle in that back leg comes at least level to that back hip, sometimes even further back depending on your flexibility. 90-degree angle in the knee and the foot. So you're on a little bit of an angle here when you start to bring your hands. So there's a little flow that happens here. A little inhale, lift, and exhale, soften. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, soften. Beautiful. Just start to find that gentle flow, that inhale long, exhale, fold, and just think about sending the breath right where you feel the stretch. Someday your head might reach your foot. I've noticed some days my head reaches my foot and some days it doesn't at all. And just know that's okay. And breathe for 5, 4. You might notice a moment where a muscle just releases and you don't feel that tension anymore. That just happened to me. 3. 2. Last one, big one. And exhale. And slowly start to come on up. Let's swing the legs around behind you. We're going to find our way back into the tabletop position. And then we're going to step the right foot forward in between the hands. So coming into lunge. So instead of being straight down on that back knee, kneecap here. And we're going to find a gentle flow. So inhale, lengthen. Exhale, shift the and pull the front toes towards the face as you fold over that front leg. Inhale, come on forward into your low lunge. And exhale, shift it back, fold over that front leg. Let's do 4 more big inhales. And exhales. 3. 2. Last one, big inhale forward. And exhale, bring it back. Beautiful. And I like to make kind of fists here, and then you can step that foot back and bring the opposite foot forward. So take a minute to really wiggle your toes forward. Length through the spine, through the back of the neck. That's a big inhale. And exhale, bring it back, toes to the face, hold. Forward. And exhale, bring it back. And just find your own rhythm. 5 deep breaths here. Just moving and breathing, it's that simple. All this movement is preparing our body for the deep relaxation that's coming. How deep can the breaths be to guide our way there? And if the mind wanders, come back to your intention. What is it that you're nurturing within you, a new way of being during this time? Keeping that in your mind, keeping that in your heart. So you should have 1 or 2 more left on our 5. If you're just joining, feel free to jump in at any time. This is just a nice gentle class. And when you're ready, come on forward. You can make your fists or plant the hands and step it back. So we're going to bring the knees nice and wide here. We haven't done this pose in this class in quite a while. So the knees are wide. This is not a pose where the knees are together and the feet are back and the booty's down. This is the knees coming straight out from the hips and the feet at the, it's basically frog leg position. I press into the earth so that I'm not letting my whole body weight go down there. And just take a few deep breaths into the inner thighs. We won't be here too long. Let's do 3, 2, last one, big inhale, and exhale. And when you're ready, slowly start to come on up. Let's go ahead and find our way onto our back. Hug the knees into the chest and give yourself a moment to just rock and roll side to side. Make some circles in both directions. I like to think of this as a free lower back massage. And then one of my favorite ways to do this is to let the knees move independently of each other, almost like egg beater style, and just circle the knees wide and together a few times. Keep breathing. And reverse directions. Bringing the knees together, bring the arms to cactus or filled bow arms. I'm going to take a little bit of a different approach today. So wrap the left leg around the right, just like you're crossing your legs. And you can actually the left foot kind of behind the right leg, if that's okay for you. Just whatever's comfortable for your legs. Take a nice deep breath here. And on the exhale, drop the knees to the right until they find the earth. Now that left arm might pop up. This is where having a pillow to put under that back shoulder if you need to. So this allows for that right leg to kind of press down on the left leg. And you're going to feel this all the way through that left side body, maybe even into the armpit. You can even bring the gaze to the left and then close the eyes and just allow yourself to surrender here. The challenge in restorative yoga isn't necessarily the stretches, but it's the moments of quieting the mind. That's why we set intentions, because if the mind does wander, just bring it back to your intention. Bring it back to the breath. 4 more deep breaths here. Last one, big inhale. And exhale. Slowly unwind the feet and the legs, come back to center. You can set your pillow off to the side. You might use that on the second side. So come back to your center, give yourself a moment to adjust your center here. And then hugging the knees or fill arms. This time the right leg wraps around the left. And maybe it wraps behind the leg. Whatever's comfortable for you. Take a nice deep breath here. And on the exhale, drop the knees to the left. Now that right arm might pop up. That's okay. Go ahead and grab a pillow for under your shoulder if you'd like. The gaze is going to be towards the right, and then just close the eyes. Come back to your intention. If you're just joining us, maybe you can tune into the theme that we're working with today. That is there something that's being born within you during this time, this kind of chrysalis time? Maybe it's a new business. Maybe you're starting to do online classes. Maybe it's just eating healthy. Maybe it's reading more, spending more time with your family. Whatever it is, just tuning into this new thing that wants to be birthed from within during this time, and sending the breath there for 5, 4, 3 more deep breaths. 2, 1 more big inhale, and exhale. And unwind the legs, set your pillow off to the side, come back to center. Let's go ahead and straighten that right leg and just hug it in towards the body. The left foot can be resting on the earth, or you might extend the left leg straight down below and just working a little bit more into those hamstrings. We've done quite a bit in that area today. It should be getting easier every time, just like that analogy from the beginning of the class, the deer on its wobbly legs, it gets stronger. You can circle through the foot in one direction and then the other. Beautiful. And hugging that knee in. Let's just do a little pulse of hugging the knee in and then moving it away. And you can kind of pulse it wide into the armpit and then move it away and pulse it close into the heart and just allow a little hip joint here. This pose is technically called, well, I think it translates, I'm not sure, but I think it translates as wind releasing pose, which is hilarious because that definitely has happened in classes before. Maybe you're more free to have that experience since you're practicing. Beautiful. And when you're ready to release that foot down, hug the opposite knee in, extend the leg. And then that foot can be resting on the earth or it can be straight down below. And just hugging that foot. Maybe you're holding on to the hamstring, maybe you're holding on up here. It doesn't really matter. But just that you're hugging that leg in and you're kind of waving it a little side to side and keep breathing. You can circle the foot in one direction. You can circle the foot in the other direction. And just hug the knee in, find a little pulse, squeeze it in and release it out. And squeeze it in wide, release it out. Squeeze it in close. Just a couple nice squeezes here. Wind release if you wish. Beautiful. When you're ready, you can release. So both feet come flat to the earth, and you're going to shift the hips way over to your left and roll onto your belly. So this is one of my favorite restorative yoga poses because it's like the most grounding, and you don't need any props, you don't need anything. I like to do it on the grass in the park sometimes if there's not too much goose poop. So what you're going to do is you're going to keep your left leg straight and just bend into the right knee. Let's see if I can demo this in the video. Bend into the right knee. Left arm kind of comes up and overhead. Some people just ear to the floor. And so the right knee and the right elbow are bent towards each other, and the left ear is resting on the earth. Super simple. Allow yourself to just melt into the earth. One of my favorite sounds to make in a yoga class is just a simple something feels good. You can just make that sound, that This is a great moment to just tune into the heartbeat. I like to think of this pose as giving the earth a great big hug, so maybe you can tune into the heartbeat of the earth and your heartbeat and all the collective hearts beating around the world. Recognizing that all of us are in this shift together. That all of us are birthing a new way of being within ourselves and within the world. That all of us are these wobbly-legged foals that will grow into strong and powerful deer. And feel into that connection, that support for 5 deep breaths. Three more. Two. Last one, big inhale. And exhale. And slowly begin to lift your head and straighten that run. Start overhead, bend into the left elbow, right ear to the earth. Get yourself cozy here. And I like to think of this pose as just letting gravity win, especially if you've been standing or sitting or moving all day. Just surrendering to gravity. Gravity is another force that unites all of humankind. We are all connected to the earth through this force of gravity. Can you feel that collective connection? That we are all in this together. That we are all finding new ways of being, new ways of seeing, new ways of showing up for ourselves and for each other. Just let yourself just surrender. On your next exhale, let yourself sink deeper. Let the breath be full and complete on the inhale and the exhale. Five more deep breaths here. 4. Two more deep breaths. Last one, big inhale. And exhale. Slowly start to straighten that left leg back behind you and come up onto the forearms. So the leg and you're up on the forearms here. This is kind of a traditional Sphinx pose, but sometimes I like to change it up and just bring the hands under the chin. So be careful not to crank the neck, but there's still some length through the back of the neck, some length through the spine. And just take a couple of deep breaths here. Maybe close the eyes. When you're ready, bring the elbows wide and bring the hands to two stacked hands, and then release the forehead to the earth. Makrasana or crocodile pose. So two stacked hands, forehead should actually be on the hands, not the earth. And this is a pose that's intended to get your awareness into your diaphragm, into your breath. Can you allow your body weight to expand your back body, your back ribs with every inhale? And a full surrender with every complete exhale. Five more deep breaths here. 4. 3. 2. Complete inhales and exhales. Last one, baby. And exhale. And slowly start to come on up. I'm going to have you flip over onto your back. And if you have 2 pillows or 2 blankets that you can place under the knees, just do soles of the feet together, knees wide. And allow yourself to come flat on the back, palms face up. Supta Baddha Konasana. This is like most important pose, I believe, in restorative yoga. I've gone more in depth into this pose in some of my past restorative classes. So if you'd like recordings of those, send me a message, let me know. I'm happy to share them with you. But today I want you to just focus on your heart space and focus on what changes within you are needing to be nurtured and strengthened during this time. What seeds of intention are being planted in your heart for your new way of being you, your new way of being in the world. And as you breathe, breathe deeply into your heart space as if every breath is just watering or fertilizing those seeds of intention. Scan your body for any areas of tension and just let it go fully and completely. Especially anything in the face or the jaw. And allow your awareness to stay focused on your intention. Three more deep breaths here. Two. Last one. Now you're welcome to stay here if this feels really juicy and yummy for you. Otherwise, I'll have you find your way flat on the back for final Shavasana. So you're welcome to place a pillow or a rolled up blanket under your knees if you wish. Welcome to have a very thin pillow under the head if that's more comfortable for you. Just allow yourself to fully surrender here as we move through our final relaxation. The intention here is that first we move the body. We can then find stillness within the body. So get any last movements taken care of and find your stillness. We move the body to find stillness in the body. And now we move the mind, knowing that stillness is coming. First, notice where your mind generally tends to rest. Maybe it's in the brain, maybe it's in the heart. Maybe it's outside of yourself on your work and your projects. And allow your mind to travel from wherever it is all the way down into the tips of the toes. Without moving a muscle, relax the toes. Relax the feet. Relax the ankles. Wherever your mind travels, a wave of relaxation follows as you relax through the shins and the calves. Relax the knees. Relax the quadriceps, hamstrings, inner and outer thighs. Relax the hip flexors or groin area. The outer hips and into the glutes or buttocks muscles. From the back side of the body through to the front side of the body, relax the psoas into the lower abdominals, the hips, the hip joints, the root and the tailbone. As your mind travels, a wave of relaxation comes with it as you relax through all of the internal organs. Feel them soften, a delicious heaviness through the internal organs as you relax. Relax the diaphragm and the lungs and the ribs. Relax the intercostal muscles between the ribs. And soften the heart. Feel a softening, a thawing of the heart, that it might be the perfect fertile soil for the seeds of your intention, your new way of being to be planted. Relax across the chest or pectoral muscles and into the armpits and down the side bodies to the lower back. Soften and relax. Widen through the lower back. Soften and relax. Widen through the middle back. And the upper back. Let the shoulder blades melt into the earth. Relax across the tops of the shoulders and into the biceps and triceps. Relax the elbows, the forearms, the wrists. Relax the backs and the palms of the hands and into the tips of all 10 fingers. Can you feel your life force or prana? Some people call it the chi energy in the tips of the fingers. Just notice. Slowly allow your awareness to travel back up through the fingers and the hands, the wrists, the lower arms, the elbows, the upper arms, the shoulders. Relax down the collarbones and up the front of the neck, around the sides of the neck and up the back of the neck. Relax all the way up the back of the neck to the crown of the head. Relax the skull and the scalp. Even relax the hair. What does that feel like? And into the forehead. Let the forehead melt. Melt through the temples, the sides of the head, the ears, and into the lower jaw. Relax all the way down the lower jaw to the chin, the lips, the tongue. Even relax the teeth and the roof of the mouth. From the roof of the mouth through the sinuses to the nose and cheeks. Relax across the nose and cheeks. And into the eye area. Relax the eyebrows, the eyelids, the circular muscles that line the eye sockets. Even the eyeballs relax and sink deep. There's a gentle inwards and upwards rotation of the eyes, nothing forced. Totally natural as your awareness comes to the center of the brain at the tippy top of the spinal column. Relax the brain as a muscle. Feel it soften. And take a moment to recognize the shift in your physical body from movement into stillness. Take a moment to recognize the shift of your mental state from movement into peacefulness. And just recognize who it is within you that is observing your body through its changes, that is observing your mind through its changes. I like to use the word spirit. This is a practice of body, mind, and spirit. And just recognize any longings from your spirit, any messages, allowing your desires, these little bits and pieces within you of how you want to show up differently for yourself and for the world. What is new that is being birthed within you from the of your spirit? And how can you use your body and your mind as tools to accomplish this intention? Keeping the eyes closed till our final namaste, gently begin to deepen the breath. Wiggle the fingers and the toes, the wrists and the ankles, and move the head from side to side. And reach the arms up overhead. Take a nice full body stretch. And on an exhale, soften. Bend one knee at a time. Bring your feet to the mat below you. And roll through either side through the fetal position. Allow yourself to be just held and supported. And when you're ready, very gently press yourself up to a comfortable seat. Bringing the palms to press together at heart center. Remembering your intention. And we'll seal the practice, your personal space, with 2 cleansing breaths and 1 Om in through the nose and out through the mouth. This time sigh. This time Om. Thumbs to the heart, lips, and forehead remind us to keep these intentions, these desires, these new ways of being, to keep them present in our hearts and in our words and in our thoughts. As we bow to each other, it is to all beings, the energy and intentions within me. Honor and support the energy and intentions within each of you. Namaste. Thank you all so much for joining me. I do these classes on Facebook Live, so at 3 p.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays is this restorative class. And if you'd like to connect more on some different styles of yoga, I teach a flow class on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9 to 10 a.m. So let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you'd like to connect. I also often offer one-on-one yoga sessions if you're kind of a beginner. And I've been working as a spiritual healer for many years. So if there is anything coming up for you that you want someone to talk to about, please just let me know. And I look forward to our next class together. Namaste.